Hey Les, it's your girl MissRessaT with my my little 1 month pop-in that I do for book talk here. I love book talk, but I'm just not an active person in it. I love to watch all the videos, but I'm not about to make make the channel about it or make the TikTok about it. I am just gonna pop in every month to tell you what I read. So if you're looking for suggestions or you have feedback, you can let me know. As you can see, I got my little page turner ring on if you're not familiar with this. But yeah, because I'm currently reading a book, y'all, that got me about to throw it out. Anyways, I'm going to try not to make this too long. So I'm going to get into the books that I read in the month of April. Yes, it's May now. So I apologize for the lateness. We're getting in there. So I think this was the most I've read in the month so far. So I read 8 books this month. Woo-hoo. To that. So I'm going to go through the books. I'm looking over this way because I have my iPad. I have my Goodreads open so I can go through the books that I read through the month of April. So the first book that I finished in April is called Mojo Working, the Old African American Hoodoo System. I actually read this book with a Patreon group that I'm in. This book was very good. I gave this book 5 stars. I just love learning more about hoodoo and what my ancestors practiced, and just incorporating. I feel like that's just where I'm at in life. That's where I've been. It's been slowly getting me to the journey of learning more and more about. I've learned about African spirituality. I still have a lot to learn there, but I rather just focus on the hoodoo just because it's more relatable to me. Because my family is from, my granddaddy's side of the family was from, or is still from, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, in Charleston, very much in the Gullah Geechee Nation. So I definitely gravitate to all that. I am very enthralled with my history, because I do feel like if you don't know your past, you don't know your future. So that's just me. So the book, I did join the book club for that book. That book, basically it's more so of just trying to find out where hoodoo came from, the origins, how the influence it had in black community, and how it's still influencing the culture right now. Is a lot of people adding stuff to hoodoo that is not hoodoo, or misinterpreting what hoodoo represents, and different things like that. So just basically it was a good starting point for me in learning more about the hoodoo system and who practiced it, where they feel it come from, what is real, what is fake, in regards to some of the things that are being presented to us now in this generation that people are trying to sell, and all kind of different things. Like just understanding that everything ain't what it is, and why you need to do your own research. So I'm gonna just keep it on that. So that book, again, I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed that book. And then the next book I read was What Lies Between Us by John Mayers. This was my first John Mayers book. This will not be my last John Mayers book. It will not. But I have gotten some suggestions of what to read from him next, and I also got suggestions of what to read from some black women who write similar, because this is my first book where I experienced the timeline jumping the way it did. I've had books, like past, present, but baby, this was like past, present, past, present, like it was just all over the timeline, but it was so freaking interesting to me. So basically overall the book was about girl, was her name Maggie too, or am I making it up because I'm reading a book with Maggie? They're talking about Maggie. I think it was Maggie. I'm sorry, this all gets jumble in my head. Okay, so if I don't write like notes, it's just gonna be jumbled in my head. But I believe it's Maggie. It's basically a mother and a daughter. The mother and daughter are in the home together. This mother is chained. She is chained and locked into this house, and this book is basically going through the story of how we got to how we got. Let me tell you, a mother's love, a daughter's love. Whoo, child, this was a roller coaster to me. I literally only wrote one word for my review, and that was unhinged. I found this book so freaking interesting, and the thing that blew my mind was there were many parts that I predicted, and I still found this book good. And I hate to get stuff right, because that's just I love mysteries and things like that. I'm a big, I think I said in the previous video, I watch a lot of crime TV shows and stuff like that. So I be figuring things out, and that don't be fun. But something about this book, because it gave you a little bit it like you knew what was gonna happen, but it didn't give you all of that, and then it came back like 5 chapters later and brought that up, and you're like, oh, like it was it. I love the jumping timelines, so I really enjoyed this book very much. If you cannot tell on my excitement, thoroughly enjoyed that book. And I do recommend, that was recommended actually from someone, Lord, I need to remember people's names. Oh, and she only does thrillers and mysteries for the most part. If I remember the names, I will put on the screen from who I got that book, that recommendation for, from a book talker or someone on Book Talk. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that book. 5-star for me. So so far we have 2 5-stars for April, and let's go into our third 5-star for April, okay? Because baby, I finished Bloodmark. Tracy, I'll wrap, oh my God, like I am stalking her author page for book number 3. Like when I tell you, I check it like once a week. Love it. As I've stated before in the first book, but this is book number 2 in the Legendborn cycle. Legendborn, we have Bree, our main character. I can't really, if you didn't read the first one, I don't really know how to go into the second one, what it's about, but we're just character development more into Bree. I will say, I did not realize this was YA, which is, what does that stand for? What does YA stand for? It's like you fiction. I don't remember what it stands for, but I do. What people don't realize when book talk, it's like everybody is not, like some of us are new and there's be a lot of abbreviation and stuff, and I'd be like, what in the hell does that mean? And I just said one just now and I don't know what the hell it means, but basically it's not adult fiction, it's like youth fiction or whatever. So that made a lot of sense, because I remember I was like, she's so whiny, like she just don't follow, she just but didn't realize the girl was 16. Okay, the girl was 16, so that made a lot more sense for me. The book made a lot more sense, even though I was already loving the book. It is a mixture between it is brought in the author the Camelot times, so King Arthur, all the knights and all that story with their own version of it, like this own including a black system into it. I'm just gonna read my review off of Goodreads that I wrote, because I'm rambling all over the place, but y'all, this was so good, like so good. Badass main character, and then the other characters around her. This second book just delved more into the characters. We met new characters, and I wasn't even mad about that. Like, the new characters did not take away from the story, they only added. While they went on this journey, they're trying to save 2 systems at this point. So Bree is in the middle of this Camelot, this whole system here of the Legendborns, and then she's also finds out that she has in the first book that she has like root work, which is more of the African spiritual. I'm sorry, I'll be messing with my hair. I'm about to get on my own nerve. But that system, and so the second book is just building on that, and it's more so focusing on the her African side, like the root system root work, and like from the other book I mentioned, it is not directly referring to hoodoo, so don't get that twisted. This is fiction, but you know, it's implied, but she very much gives great author notes here. This is why I have this picture in here, this bookmark. I mean, my besties, because I have to go back and read the story that's in the book. So both of the books I listen to on audiobooks, and I have both the first and second book in, you know, in paperback or whatever, but I was listening and on Audible for the first book. The second book, I was like, I bought the book, I was like, I want to read along with the audiobook. Oh my gosh, that has become my new obsession is reading along with the audiobook. Oh, I don't know why, that just makes it so much better for me. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But then, in having the book in front of me, reading along with it, I realized that there's a whole awesome author note. And then they have the whole caste system here of the bloodline for King Arthur and all that. And it's knights and their weapons and their color that it represents. I love that, And then at the very end of the second book, there's a another little like short story. From this one, I think this is from the perception, what the hell, of, I think, William. Oh, and then there's a sneak peek of Oathbound, which is the third book. And I just, That's what just made me smile. I have not read it yet because I have started other books, but I am coming back to that. I just don't want to get, you know how like I don't want a little teaser. I want to read the teaser like before the book drops. But overall, I said the sequel gave me all the chills and thrills. I'm so excited. It was so exciting seeing Bree learn more about her powers in both of the worlds. Reading watching while reading, but feeling like I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how good this world building is becoming. I felt like the second book really built the world up better for us, especially like the root work stuff. Watching her bond grow with William, Sel, and Alice. So those are 3 characters from the previous book that they did carry on in this book, and a few others, and I really enjoyed them. They basically went on a whole little adventure to try to help Bree get into her powers, because we need Bree to save the day, period. Love the new characters we met in the root world, and expand on King Arthur's world as a black woman who appreciates hoodoo and a lover of all things Merlin and Camelot. This fictional series is a wonderful escape. I look forward to more mature, I meant to say maturities in Bree, hopefully the next book, and excited for this love triangle. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. If like, pick up the freaking books, y'all. Get the 1 and 2, read the freaking books, especially if you love like I said, Merlin, Camelot, and then put that black in there. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Okay, this is why I always have to film these twice, because I talk too much in the first one. So the long version is, this is for YouTube at this point, because we're too long for TikTok. The next book, next 5-star read. Like, what is that? The 4 5-star read. April was such a good reading month. Oh my gosh. And I've just started reading here in May, because I kind of like, I needed a moment. I'm like, let me watch my shows and put down the books. Let me separate, because I'm just nervous. Like, I'm not going to have as good as books as I had in the month of April. Like, I finally finished the last book here in the Harry Potter series, The Deathly Hallows. I've had this book series for like 2 years now, and it sat on the shelf for like a whole 1 year. And I really got serious about reading it, finishing it this year. This last book I read along with the Audible. Okay, I understand everybody's not happy with JK right now. I'm not arguing about that. I will not have that discussion. Okay, I'm team everybody around here, so I will not have that discussion. But what I can do, which I do, it's funny because I struggle to do this in music, separate the artist from its work. But I'm not gonna say, I was already in love with Harry Potter before any of the drama, and I'm gonna continue to love Harry Potter. And these freaking books are freaking amazing. The mind of this woman to have written this series. You cannot convince me this is not real. I'm waiting for my Hogwarts letter. Like, it needs to come. I'm gonna be patient. But I can no longer be around these muggles anymore. Like, where is my Hogwarts letter? Book 7 was freaking good. I mean, I'm not really gonna go into, he continues to fight Voldemort. I mean, the movies are out, so like, if you're familiar with the Harry Potter series, then you know what the Deathly Hallows part 1 and part 2, the movies. But the movies, oh, the books are better. I still love the movies so much. It will never take away from my love for the movies, but the books are so freaking detailed. I don't know how the woman got so damn detailed. Sometimes overly detailed, but it was so freaking stinking good. Like, I don't really have any words. I am in love. I was already in love with Harry Potter. The books, every last one of them was a masterpiece. I plan on rereading this series. This series is not short whatsoever, but the last 2 books I read along with Audible. So the first, it's a total of what, 7 books? 7, yeah. So the first 5 books I did not read with Audible, so I want to go back and read those with Audible. I'm not gonna do that. I may do that towards the end of the year. We shall see, or I may do it next year. But I definitely, this is a series that I want to read every year. Like, just awesome. Love it, love it, love it. The next book that I'm reading, I'm actually reading the second book in this series right now. So I'll show you the second book in this series. I got a library card, and we didn't got the second book in this series. But the book that I read, so that's what I'm currently reading right now. But the last, in April, I read the first book in this series, which is called Miss Wiggins. This is by Mary Monroe. I gave this book a 4 out of 5. It was very good to me. I think what made it better was reading along with it, the Audible. My little little pop off lockets. Wanted to show so bad. Reading along with the Audible really made this book for me. It's making all the books for me. So let me see what I read. What I said, 4 out of 5. Hunty, read the yeah, I read this in 1.5 days. I did. I read this so freaking quick, and I was reading this while I was at work, and I was very mad. I'm like, why are people bothering me when I'm trying to read this book? Like, it's not my job to be working. I did my job, but yeah. This basically Miss Wiggins is a woman who has gotten into a marriage with a man for the, well, I said the wrong reasons. Just not, it wasn't for love. I won't say it was the wrong reasons. They both have their motives and their agenda, and I can appreciate them. But they both wanted a family, but they did not want to get it in the traditional way. So Miss Wiggins went about making her perfect life, and everybody on the outside is thinking Miss Wiggins' life is perfect, but honey, Miss Wiggins is out here playing God. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Definitely, as you can see, I already picked up book number 2, so clearly I did like this book. Let me see why I didn't give it 5 stars. 4.5. Hunty read this in 1.5 books. Definitely will be following the rest of the series. 95 star for me because I did figure out some parts of the plot, but still very good. I tend to read with audiobook and love the narrator's voice. Yes, I did. I love the narrative. Okay, let me stop talking about books too. Oh my gosh. But yes, like, oh, I've had some audiobooks where like the voice is just, it's just like a somebody just boring reading. This is somebody reading, but these are actual like narrations, man. Like the voices match the characters. Oh my gosh, I really did love the narrator's voice on the first audiobook. Yes, there was parts of the books that I did figure out, and it wasn't like the John Mayer's book where I figured them out, but it was still written so interestingly that it was okay. Like, so that's what made it 4 out of 5, just because, like, okay, so I saw that coming, but otherwise I did see coming, especially that ending of the book. Okay, so that was a 4 out of 4.5 stars for me. So still very high, very good book. Like I said, it was not a long read. It's about the same length as this book here. So I was looking forward to that because I've been reading nothing but thick ass books. And I don't have this next book on me. I have the rest of the books. I went and got those from the library in this series, but the first book I only listened to it on Audible because everybody was talking about it and it was free. So I was like, hey, let me check it out because it seems up my alley. If you cannot tell, I like sci-fi, I like fictional, I like fantasy, like world building, like those different type of things, like fictional characters, fantasy lands, fairies and wizards and all this good stuff. I like stuff like that. Judge me, I don't care. So the next book that I read was A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Now I'm just learning some things about Sarah J. Maas, and I'm like, well, damn, it seems like everybody got controversy. But I've already started the series, and I'm going to continue to reading the series. I did enjoy book number 1. Book number 1 was just an introduction, really, of the characters here. I need to start pulling up synopsis so I can know what I can say and what I don't, because I don't choose to put any spoilers. But basically, this young lady is basically holding down her family. They used to be rich, but now they are very, very much poor, and they're very much struggling, and this family does not appreciate her at all. But she made a promise to her deceased mom before she died that she would take care of the family. So she is doing everything she needs to do to take care of the family, which includes hunting. One day she ends up hunting, and she ends up killing a wolf. The wolf turned out to actually be a person, what's called a fae, and it's but he was just transformed into a wolf. We find out later on in the book why he was transformed, but that would be a spoiler. She ends up killing this wolf, and one of the fae people come to take her from her land. Like, hey, you killed one of ours. Now we either kill you or you come with us to live with us forever. And she went with the latter, to live with them forever. And her world is forever changed. She is now introduced to the world of fae and fairies, and romance happens that she didn't want to happen. I like stuff like that. I'm not a big romance girl, but I like when it's like unexpected romance and it's not a huge bunch, because I'm here for the action and all the other stuff. I don't need a whole lovey-dovey book. Okay, I may read like once a month, but I'm not big on lovey-dovey books. But yeah, I enjoyed the book. I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars really because I felt like it was slow. It was a slow book. If it wasn't for being able to speed up the audio, I probably wouldn't have made it through the book, because it was good. It was just, but I get it. You had to build up the system and things like that. I'm not gonna edit that out. This video is too long. This is going straight up on YouTube, so sorry for dropping y'all. But overall, I'm enjoying the characters. I'm looking forward to see what happens in the second book, because the first book ended with this whole thing, that the whole mystery being, you know, being resolved and supposedly happy ever after. But this is a series, so that means something else is going to happen. It's going, so I am going to be starting book 2 probably after I finish this other book. We shall see. But the next book that I read, this was also a 5-star, was Ethic 2. So this is the second book in the Ethic series by Ashley Antoinette. I gave the book 5 stars, but please note this is going to be my last book from the Ethic series. I believe the Ethic series has at least 4 more books. That's going to be my personal decision. I'm going to revisit this decision in a couple of months, but I need a break. These books are not, I'm not a person that needs, I don't need a book to wrap up and be like happy ever after and everything was perfect in the end. Especially when you're talking about, like, these are not fictional, these are fictional characters. But I mean, this is not like a fictional world. It's not a fantasy book that's supposed to be portrayed in Baltimore and actual, you know, characters, like real people, not like animals or spirits or something. You get what I'm saying? The book is great. The book is great. Ashley is very good at what she does, but I do feel like this book, I mean, Moths to the Flame was traumatizing. Ethic number 1 was traumatizing. Ethic number 2 is traumatizing. And from what I'm just gathering from just following it up, like in the book group I'm in, I'm like, so is there a happy ending at any point? Because it's not, when I'm taking the trauma, I mean trauma, y'all. I'm not even talking about a little bit of trauma. Like, it is good. It's ghetto fabulous, but it's not too ghetto, because I don't like too ghetto books. It's following Ethic and him trying to recover from his last tragedy. But all it's doing, like, it's just a lot of tragedy. And this book ended on such a, like, damn. Like, when I tell you I couldn't even sleep, and I don't need that in my life. Like, life is enough. I feel like, you know, people are trauma bonding with this book, with this series, and, you know, people may get upset with me saying that, but I think we are so used to reading toxicity in relationships and just bad things happening, that maybe people want to relate to it. I don't know, but baby, damn, can the man smile? Like, we love Ethic. Like, I need Ethic in real life. But maybe at this point, I don't even know if I'm at Ethic in real life and he told me all the stuff that he's been going through. I don't know if I would want Ethic. Because, baby, I don't even know if I would want to bond with you, honey. Like, I'm not tired. I ain't saying that, you know, life got to be perfect. But, jeez Louise. Death just surrounds Ethic, and that's very sad because he is a solid dude. But judge the series for yourself. Go read the synopsis. Go check it out. Start with Moth to the Flame. I do highly recommend Moth to the Flame. Whether you continue the series or not, the first book is amazing. It is still traumatizing like the rest. She writes trauma very well, Ashley. But girl, I couldn't see this woman in the streets. I would have some words from Ashley, because I just want to know, like, girl. All right. But that was a 5-star read for me. My last book of April. To wrap this up, and I'm sorry this got so long, but I am thoroughly enjoying reading these books. I'm thoroughly enjoying getting back into reading. I really have not communicated with anybody in the past few months. I haven't even got with my besties, y'all. Like, I just be reading books. Like, give me a book and give me my garden, and yeah. So the last book that I read is Bootlegger's Bounty. So this is book number 8, and this was another 5-star read for me, you guys. I'm not gonna go too much into this book. Just know I like to read a little spice, a little smut, as they call it in the book world. At least one little nasty book each month, and woo. Woo. The Bootlegger's Bounty is very good. So if you're interested in this one was like on a ship, on a boat with some, were they pirates? I guess, well, they were mostly bootleggers, but they, you know, there's a stowaway. The female character is a stowaway. The other 2 main male characters are one's the captain of the ship. One is the nephew of the person that the captain of the ship is working for, and they build a relationship. Okay, all three of them. Okay, and it was very good. I found it very intriguing. So that would be it. If you read the book, judge me. Don't you dare. So anyways, that is it. That's the 8 books. Damn, I can't even talk just thinking about the bootleggers month. All right, that's 8 books that I read for the month of April. I hope that you check the books out. If there's something more you want me to say about them, then let me know. But overall, y'all, go Google and read the synopsis of the books. And because I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that. But I probably am not describing the books very well because I just get here and start talking and don't have a plan in life, which is why I end up filming this twice so I can get this a short version for TikTok. Smooches.